Hi, this is Joe from Nerd in Korea. We're continuing our budget series here, and we're talking about the Tri and Multi-lands. So, let's take a look. A lot of these, I think, are ones that people have seen before, but some of them are actually new and interesting. So, the Tap Tri lands, first of all, they can be tapped for one of 3 different types of mana. They come in one of each of the 3 color combinations. Again, just like with the 2 color combinations, 3 color combinations, there are 10, right? There are 10 combinations. These are very cheap, and I'm using this as kind of the baseline, all right? So I think most people know about these. I'm not like blowing anyone's mind showing this or anything, but this is our baseline for evaluating tri-lands, right? These come in tapped, and they make 3 mana. It's very simple, and yeah, anyway. Very easy to understand, yeah. So, again, there are a lot. They're good to have, even, remember, a lot of, like, Commander has singleton rule, including for non-basic land, so those are probably something you want to get for your tricolor decks anyway. Okay, the layers are up next. So the layers are based on the dragons that are the Elder Dragons from EDH. EDH is named after these dragons. Their layers, they actually printed them. And for instance, Crossus Catacombs here is blue, black, red, which is called Grixis. Alright? So, comes into play untapped, but you must return a land to your hand. Okay? That may sound like not such a bad thing, and in some cases you might want to return land to your hand or something like that. Also, you can not return a land and it automatically sacrifices itself and goes to the graveyard. So if you want land in your graveyard, that can be very helpful as well. Anyway, these, when they come in, what you can do before you put this in is tap the land, right? So let's say with this one, let's say you have a mountain. Tap the mountain, get a red, put this in, return it to your hand, right? The mountain to your hand. Then you can tap this for mana as well. So that turn, you get the same amount of mana. On the first turn it comes in, every turn after that, though, remember, you can put that back down the next turn, but you're going to be 1 mana short. You're always 1 mana behind where you would have been. Unless you have something that lets you play multiple lands in a turn, and maybe you don't have all of those land drops, then it would be the same, but yeah. Okay, anyway. So again, you can see there are 5 different ones, including an Esper, so I think that's very useful. Again, 16 cents and under. Very, very cheap. Worth putting in, especially in Commander, where it's singleton and you have, limited options. Next up is the panoramas. I think these are a notable step up from the last ones. Again, the layers are kind of worse than the tap lands, and I think these are finally getting it to better, right? Better ones. 26 cents and under, still super, super cheap. So they come into play untapped, and you can tap them only for 1 colorless, right? They can produce mana. A lot of times all you need it to do, if you have all your mana already, put this in and just use it for colorless. Hey, that's fine, right? You don't need more colored mana. Or you can pay 1 and sacrifice it. So with lands, I want you to remember, paying 1 with a land is really paying 2, right? You tap the land to get a mana, so you're losing that one, and you're paying 1. So really pay 1 and sacrifice the land, or sorry, pay 1, tap and sacrifice the land, is actually paying 2. But anyway. Sacrifice Grixis Panorama. You can search your land for basic island, swamp, or mountain. Alright? And then shuffle your library. Again, so we've got Naya, Bant, Esper, Jund, and I think I said all of them already. Anyway, yeah, Jund. There you go. So there's all of them. Super cheap, and these are getting into ones where I think this is actually a very good idea, especially if you've got a deck with landfall, right? Landfall means you can sacrifice them and bring another land in, and that doesn't count towards your limit of lands to play per turn. That way you can just keep playing lands, keep getting landfall triggers. And also, yeah, it does not actually say or it doesn't have the mana symbol, so you can put these in any commander deck, for instance. You can only use the color identity of your commander, so even a land that, say, makes like black and red, for instance, if you've got an Orzhov commander where it's white and black, you can't use that land then. Here it lists the names of them, it does not say the mana color. So you could put any of them into any deck. And these are next. I think these are the best ones on here. I love these. There is a limitation with the coming in tapped, but we'll talk about that. Okay, comes into play. Immediately sacrifice it. So you put into the battlefield. Its ETB is that it blows itself up. Alright, and then search for one of 3 basic lands. Put it onto the battlefield, tapped. So it does come in tapped, but you get any basic land you want. Once again, landfall triggers. It's amazing because that's 2 landfall triggers off of playing 1 land. 2 lands coming to the battlefield because of that. And you gain 1 life. You know, gaining 1 life is kind of like if someone said, hey, do you want $5? It's like, yeah, okay, sure. Why not? I mean, $5 is $5, but it's, you know, that's not going to change my life or anything. It's something. I don't know. Sometimes I think they put gain 1 life just to fill in text a bit or something. Like, it just... sure. Anyway. So once again, there are 5 of these that you can get, and they each search for different things. And they do not say it does not show the mana symbol. It says the type of basic. It does specify basic, and the type of basic you can get is what it says, right? So once again, you can put these in any deck, just like the panoramas. These can go in any deck. And I think they're actually quite amazing, especially if you have a way of getting land out of the graveyard. Play a land from the graveyard, just keep playing this, get whatever you want, right? Get all the different colors you need right away. That's all your mana fixed right off the get. You're done, right? Whatever mana you want, as long as it's in one of those 3 colors, then you're all set. 39 cents and under. I keep expecting these to go way up in price, and they never do. I don't understand why, because I play them, and whenever my friends see them, like what they do, they're like, oh my gosh, where did you get that? And yeah, severely underrated. Also, the aesthetic is just so cool. But anyway, I'm going to start on art. I really like New Capenna for all that. Okay, now we're talking about Crypt of the Eternals. A whole 33 cents. This once again has an enter the battlefield effect of gain 1 life. Sure, okay, I'll gain 1 life, buddy, whatever you say. And much like the panoramas, you can tap this for 1, or you can pay 1 and then tap it and make a blue, a black, or a red. So once again, paying 1 and tapping a land is paying 2. Okay, so this is not ideal, but if you really need the mana, you're probably not going to do this every turn. keep in mind, even if you have this card out, mostly you're going to be tapping for colorless. So I think it is worth putting in a deck at least. It gives you some options. More options is always better. Anyway, Ancient Ziggurat for $151. So this is the most expensive one so far at $1.51. Maybe tap for any color of mana. Hey, any color, but this is a big but. Mana may only be used to cast creature spells. So that's kind of a minor limitation. It might sound bad when you first hear it, like only creature spells, but creature spells are the most common in your deck, right? Or in most decks, I should say. Creature spells are the most common, so it's kind of like, yeah, I can have any color, but only for like what most of my spells are. Seems like a good deal. I don't know. I would get it. I tried to get it. It's sold out. Living in Korea can be hard sometimes. Meteor Crater also sold out. Anyway. Meteor Crater may be tapped for any color of mana, but you must have a permanent of that color on the battlefield. So once again, a permanent, not necessarily a creature, which is probably going to die to a board wipe at some point, right? You don't rely on those, but artifacts, enchantments, whatever else it may be, you can say, oh, I have a blue enchantment, I'm tapping for a blue. Hey, great, I have a white artifact, I'm tapping for a white. And this is $196. So our budget limit is $2. $196 is just squeaking by, just squeaking by. Alright, so don't be afraid to tinker. So even if it seems like your deck's mana is good, it can probably be better, right? So decks often require a lot of fine-tuning. Alright, mana sources is no exception, are no exception. I'm an English teacher. I can't conjugate be verbs. That's fun, but anyway. Again, something that can always be better. It's something that you probably want to play with a bit, because even if it seems like it works 2 games in a row, it could, not be great the next 2 or something like that. So consider what your deck needs. So yeah, it's really about efficiency. You want to make sure your deck is efficient at all times. Anyway, well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some good ideas. And yeah, if you could hit like and subscribe, it would be much appreciated. So far, we're having great feedback. I really appreciate it. And yeah, take it easy. See you next time.